Open session public meetings are subject to being recorded, not videotaped. Your image and voice may be recorded. So, straighten up.
How's my hair?
7:06 sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so Louise sent out 3 sets of minutes. April
The
6th.
20th and the 30th.
Yep. And then our quick special meeting that we had last Saturday.
We'll do a roll call.
We don't need to.
Oh, okay.
Yep, no, because that was just Zoom stuff.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you as well. Does anybody have any comments other than how good the minutes are?
They are exquisite. She does a great job.
She does do a great job.
Put that in the minutes.
Okay, I will.
Um,
I spend a lot of time on them, actually.
I know you do.
I'm sure you do.
Yep.
It's a lot of, it's very time consuming.
All right, hearing no conversation, I'll take a motion to accept minutes of April 6th, April 20th, and April 30th.
So I can only vote on one of those, the 20th. So I don't know if that matters.
I don't know that it does,
Okay.
because Walter wasn't here for one of
Oh, that's
them.
true.
Right, yeah. I know the zoning board does, if they did not attend the meeting, they pass on the vote.
Right. And Holly, who's not here, was here for
But
those.
we got 4.
Right,
We only need 4, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
So AJU,
right,
me, Louise.
right.
yes,
All right. So, we're all, Robin and Walter don't vote.
okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Okay. Who moved?
Oh.
I'll move.
Sorry.
Okay.
I got a little ahead of myself
Yeah,
there.
right. And the rest of us.
Right, is it
Okay.
Monday again?
Who seconded?
The same per.
I did, yeah,
Okay.
that was me.
I
Yep.
heard you.
Oh, all right.
All right, minutes approved. Robin, any new treasury info?
So same as last time, because on the previous ones, I had gotten a ledger from June, so I had through February 28th, and that's what Maddie gave me the last one. So I only have through February 28th, so it's the same. So if you want, I can give you the numbers again, but they're the same as the
Okay.
last minute.
So the same as before.
Yeah,
Right.
the February 28th. So Maddie, we don't have any, there wasn't any more for paperwork?
Okay.
No.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get a chance to check on the one.
Well, that means I've got that part of the minutes done because I.
There you go, good job. Maddie, is there any bills or forms?
So, we did receive a couple of just hearing notices in the mailbox today.
All right.
We also did receive a check from Highland Commons as well.
Oh, for the 500.
Oh, from the liquor store?
Yep.
Yep,
Oh, nice.
awesome. All right, we'll do that in a second. So this is from the city of Marlborough, that there is a public hearing for Verizon for Donald Lynch Boulevard, doing some utility work. If anybody cares, it's May 9th, next Monday.
Can I see it just for the information?
And then there is a ZBA hearing, May 12th, for 10 Bigelow Road. So this is for the variance. Hold on, let me just make sure that is what it's. Well, notice is hereby given that the Berlin Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing May 12th, 7:30. At this time, the hearing is expected to be held virtually on Zoom. The applicant seeks relief under Chapter 40A, Section 10 of the Mass General Laws for the parking restrictions found in Section 821 location on lot of Berlin zoning bylaws. The section provides that no parking spaces, with the exception of handicap parking, may be placed closer to the street than the front line of the building. The petitioner also requests similar relief from Section 831 setback areas, Section 832 screening of parking areas and loading areas. The applicant intends to develop the property as a cannabis cultivating and manufacturing facility. This use will also require a special permit and site plan approval, but the applicant has chosen to apply for neither at this time. All persons interested should plan to attend or be represented at the hearing. So, that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in all.
I knew it was coming.
Yep.
Trying to be ahead of it.
And then this is a check for,
Which account are we depositing this in?
so that's gonna go in the same account that the other donation that we got, the $3,000.
I don't know yet where that went.
Yeah. When we find out where that went, that's where that one's going.
Did we get anything from Daggy's yet? I assume not.
No.
Did we have, Louise, last year, did we have to go and pick up the other check? Or did they mail it?
Yeah, I do believe I went and picked it up.
Um,
And I think they might have given cash, I'm not sure, but,
Ooh.
right.
Then we can send you, but.
Yeah, no, yeah, well, we should have.
Yeah, oh geez, I don't know, they didn't, the guys hadn't,
The
had
donation went down, I apologize.
nothing. Went down by,
Yeah, I can go by and grab it, that's fine.
Okay.
went down by a 6-pack?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, and that's it for bills and forms?
Yep.
And what do we have for mail and notices?
So that was, yeah.
That was
What we
it?
had, Yep.
Okay. What's,
Oh, so this is it's like a Highland Ridge thing. It was just
oh,
yeah.
yes, we should, I'm assuming we have a folder for them.
Hmm.
Yeah, we should, probably put this in there. Just so we have a copy. All right. Awesome. Wetlands. Maplewood still chugging along. They've got a notice of another approved amount of, well, another site that they're getting soil from. The testing was approved. That's all we get notifications of, so. And then, do we have recent monitoring report from
I
Pat?
didn't see one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
So, hasn't really rained though.
No.
Yeah. All right. We have 15 more minutes before our 7:30 appointment. So let's skip to the parking lot.
Okay.
AJ's done a lot of work on that.
So there is no more report for Highland Ridge?
There's a
There is
copy
not.
for everybody. Well, I don't know, I didn't think I made one for Peg, but it was, yeah. There are enough copies,
Yeah.
if she wants one.
Oh, sorry.
Peg, would you like a copy
Thank you.
of what we're looking at?
No,
Yeah, there you are.
Okay.
I would put it in PDF though, if you're
There you
gonna go
go.
to the selectmen meeting on Monday, so that you can do a show and tell and show you.
Right, so are you guys still
Big
meeting
board.
on Zoom? Okay.
I did convert it to PDF, so
Okay.
I can email it to you.
All right, and is it this coming Monday, Peg, or is it?
Just, Tuesday, because Monday's the election,
Oh, the 10th?
Oh.
so it'll be Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 10th. I had on my calendar the 16th. So it's the week before. Which is fine. I'm just,
Do you have a preference?
No, because I think I think we said the 16th, so we would have time to do this, but I
Alright,
think
then-
we're in
then-
good shape with this.
All right, if you want to, let me know. If the 10th works, we'll pop you on the agenda for that. If not, then we'll pop you for the 16th.
Okay, actually, let me just double check that Tuesday might be planning board, so we might have to do the 16th.
Okay.
Yes, the 10th is planning.
All right, so
So-
you want to come the following Monday?
That would be great.
Okay.
That's all we need.
Yeah, I don't know that Walter got to see this before.
Right, so Walter, this is what we're talking about for the fence at Therian's.
Looks good.
Yeah. So we should email this page to Sue and make sure that she's good with it.
We're still gonna meet Friday to, just to
Yeah.
confirm?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to pick a time. If anybody wants to go over there, AJ and I are going over at some point on Friday, just to make sure the layout of the rock and everything is gonna work.
Yeah.
Is the rock existing?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
yeah,
I
It's-
remember
it's
the
all
rock
band
there.
height.
I didn't measure it off, no.
right.
Oh, that's a good corner.
Yeah, so we're gonna try and straddle the rock with the fence.
I was gonna say, I'll help dig every post but those two.
Right.
What time are you going on Friday?
We haven't made a set of time yet.
Yeah, okay. If I'm available, I'll come down.
Okay. If you're
Like
interested, we
afternoon,
can
or-
do it later if you wanna come.
I could
'Cause-
probably do like after 4. Is that
Does
too
that,
late?
does that work for you later in the
4:30
day?
really?
yeah, I'll just have Gracie with me.
That's all right.
Why?
She doesn't vote.
You
Why-
don't
Plenty
have
of
to
room
wait
for her to
me.
run around.
Why are we going there? Why?
Just to make sure that our layout is,
You don't trust,
I don't know.
he's very experienced.
I did not lay it out. That was a DPW. So I take no credit for.
DPW laid, staked it out?
I did it,
Oh, you did it?
yeah.
Oh, I thought
We
we were all
better
there.
check.
Yeah,
Right.
there were multiple stakings.
Yeah.
So one of the sets must be correct.
Right, so we're just gonna go over, and then AJ's gonna make a sign like this that says trailhead.
You pointed to the camera.
I did.
Two,
Okay,
two. And,
good shot of that.
and we'll use
Two.
the, state park,
Yeah,
font.
stencils,
Yeah.
yep,
I got that.
Cool.
Are you going to be communicating with the abutter?
yes.
Why don't you try to persuade her? Let us go in there and clear that brush. That's all you need to do, and it would increase the vision 500 feet of the road.
Right,
Much more, AJ and I were gonna do it on the town end of it. And we could just carry right on down and get it done, and it would make that 100%
right.
safe.
So we're talking on the street side of the stone wall.
No, talking on
On
the
the-
field side.
Okay.
That's where all the brush is.
Right,
There's about a 8-foot row of brush along there that's never been maintained like it did when I was a farmer in the old days. We always kept the stone walls cleared and the fence lines cleared, and it's all grown up, and that, if that was cleared, it'd make a big difference. Big difference.
I will certainly ask. Okay, and then on the second page, there is an estimate. Are they estimates? Are they?
Well, I looked up the actual prices, but you know, those things fluctuate quite a
Sure.
bit.
Yep,
And with the fuel prices rising and freight costs going up,
right.
I can't imagine they're gonna go down.
We should buy them sooner than not.
So where are we paying where are we paying this from?
So,
Mike Sawyer.
right, that's So from the
Still don't.
donation, from the donation that we've received that we don't actually know where it is.
Reach out
What?
to June and find out where it is. See if I can
Well,
get the updated
June
ledger.
has it
Oh,
in an
okay.
account, we just haven't been
Okay.
notified what that account
Yeah.
is
Okay.
called,
There's like a
but,
couple months delay in some of the paperwork I get, so
Yeah.
right,
I don't necessarily have the most up-to-date numbers.
right.
Yeah.
But we know, I
2
mean,
months
I'm
behind.
I'm confident that it's accessible.
Why I was thinking.
You got those cheap on Amazon, AJ.
Who's going to install it?
Which,
The
Highway.
bolts?
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Oh, are they
Oh, good.
gonna? Oh.
Hot
Might
dip
might
galvanized?
have to do that from now on.
yeah, what's the freight
Yeah, I
though?
rechecked them at,
If it's
at
probably prime, it's probably
one of the
free.
local retailers. They were $3.33 a piece. But if you buy 25 or more, they're $3 a piece
Oh,
for the
right,
bolts. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the highway department is gonna,
Drill the holes,
is going to install the fence,
the whole thing?
to my knowledge.
Oh, fancies.
So they're only gonna ask you to dig.
Those two?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, and then if there's no more does anybody else have anything else they want to say about the fence?
Oh, did we decide when we're going to see it?
Oh, we didn't. You want to say 4:30 on Friday?
Yeah, let's do 4:30.
4:30 on Friday?
And then the rails need to be facing towards the big field, right? That's what we got, because of the horses.
I believe that that is true,
A side
yeah.
of the fence is to face the
Okay.
neighbor, right?
Yep.
Because the horses
And that's-
will know.
This Friday, so.
That is this Friday, the 6th.
I'm gonna put it down and I won't be
I
there.
hear ya. 4:30. Okay. Oops, nope, that put it in as 4:30 a.m. No, no.
Even I won't be there then.
Yeah,
You'll be
right.
there by yourself, yeah.
All right, good. That's that. And Berlin Meadows cleanup, May 12th. Walter, are you around?
On the 12th?
Yes.
I think so.
Did we say what time? Did we say 5:30?
5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flowers look pretty good there.
Yeah, the daffodils were, I don't remember the daffodils being,
I
it
know
was,
it.
it was a good
It's a
daffodil
great
year.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my,
Yeah.
they're magical.
Yeah. Um,
Do we need the tractor for that, Dave? No. Just the truck.
Just the truck.
Okay.
Yep, truck and then some hand tools. Do you have a weed whacker?
Yep.
Indeed.
All right.
Remind myself.
Okay, so that's that. That's that. Do we want to do a Horseshoe Pond open house and hike report?
Yeah, it seemed to go pretty well. We had a pretty good turnout for the hike, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, it was-
Yeah, probably 20+ people, right, for the
Yeah.
hike.
Oh, yeah.
No, and it worked. Everyone voted yes on.
I
Article
know.
26.
I was surprised that they were able to drag that out for 90 minutes, but they
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
They did a good job.
It worked out well too, and yeah. So Jim McGrail was there too, and just like pointed out everything from his childhood. So it was really
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
just hearing him talk about the property. And
Yeah,
just,
I wish
remembering
I-
everything.
Had been able to attend.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
So I haven't been tracking the costs on that. Do we have a good like I saw there's a $490,000 something in the paperwork, but it's not really in one of our accounts, so it's sort of separate. But I kind of feel like I should be tracking, like, I saw there's like town funds, and there's these funds and those funds, and then I don't even know how much the total cost
I
is
know.
at this point.
We'll talk. I'll
Okay.
explain it all,
Okay.
but we got our approval on Monday
Yeah.
night, so we're good to go.
Okay, but we still have donations to get?
Donations, the
Okay.
more donations SVT gets,
Okay.
the less it's gonna cost us in the long run.
Okay. Do you
Or-
already have, I mean, if you're already tracking it, I won't worry about it, but I just kind of felt like I didn't really have a good sense of.
Right, well, I mean, yes, I have a very good sense
Okay, all
after
right, as
this
long as-
last
as long
town
as you
meeting
do.
season, yes.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
then I won't worry about it.
okay, but I'll still let you know what numbers to expect,
Okay,
that you might see.
okay, yeah, that'd
So,
be good.
yep.
I have a question. Okay, Rob, we're talking about money. Should we talk about how the money from the Earth Day be spent, or do we want to wait on that?
Have we decided how?
We did talk about using the money towards the garden, so.
That's true. So
Right.
that $500
Mhm.
from Earth Day, we
Right.
talked about maybe buying some replacement plants and sprucing up the garden. AJ, when he lived in Minnesota, was a registered master
I was a
gardener.
master gardener, yes.
So he's gonna take on, and we're talking about with an emphasis on creating a pollinator garden.
Hmm.
I have an
So-
account at Site One, if you need anything.
What's Site One? Is that the place in Hudson,
Yeah.
Hudson Stowe line?
Near the museum. So if you need anything from there, let me know. Or if you want to get pricing.
That place is awesome.
Yes, yes it is.
You don't have an account at Cavicchio's, do you?
Site One's cheaper.
Is it-
Yeah.
Do they have the
Well,
as big a variety?
Yeah, it's pretty big back there. Pretty
Is it?
expansive.
Yeah.
You would get
Should we have
lost
a
back
field
there.
trip?
Yeah. I mean,
I think
yeah,
we
that would
should
be
have a
very
field
exciting.
trip, yeah.
Yeah.
it's called Site One.
Yep, it's down by the
I've
Heritage
seen the sign,
Museum.
I've never been there though.
You can't.
Oh, is it contractors only?
Yes.
You know, I took a picture
Yeah.
of that bench,
Can you
but
get us access?
I can't.
I can't find it. Sorry.
You may have sent it to me.
We'll just put our stuff on your.
I'll give you guys some shirts and you can just.
Well, anyway, it's almost done.
Whatever you want.
I have to do the machining for the back, but.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Nope.
I have no idea what I did with that
Yeah,
picture. so
you
I-
didn't text it to me, so. All right. That's that. Earth Day. Oh, so, Earth Day was successful.
Yes, it was. We covered most of the town. The one area that we really didn't get much covered was,
Gates Pond Road.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
right, yeah, that section did not get covered as much as it should have been, so.
Yeah.
The company should be doing it,
Yes, they
Right.
should.
Go.
Yeah.
I might have to send an email.
Yep. Every couple of
Think
years, we
from
have
up on
to
the
send
hill.
them a reminder.
So,
Who was that?
part of the whole Highland
Yeah,
Commons
wasn't
thing
it?
is that they're supposed to do that, and I haven't seen a truck come through there. and-
Not this year.
They need to get a letter from the selectmen.
Usually, I just give Jed a phone call and,
Well, there's an email
Actually-
address, like trash pickup at Gates, or like Gates Pond trash pickup or something
At
like that.
Highland Ridge or
Henderson
something, yeah.
Something like that.
yeah, we'll find that and poke them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, just-
I actually have Ed Pluff's phone number too. He's
Okay.
the,
Yeah, you
Property
definitely have more-
manager,
you have
yeah.
more contacts, so.
yeah.
that's good.
Get them involved next Earth Day too.
So, we had,
That's a
Yeah.
good idea,
Get them to do the
yeah.
whole town.
I mean, at least that section.
so this year we had support from the police. There were 3 cruisers that were going around town and checking up on, making sure people weren't speeding through. And we had the highway department, Fred Cummings was out with the truck picking up trash. He was actually picking up trash himself and then picking up bags. Kyle was Hudson Disposal, let Kyle take their truck to pick up trash.
Awesome.
We collected, people brought in 1,000 of the nips, which is a lot less than what we collected last year.
Well, that's good.
Well, we didn't
That-
separate them though this year, did we? Or did we?
A lot of
Most
people did.
not.
There was a lot of bags that people came with just nips. When I was out,
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
Over there,
But they
yeah.
didn't bring them to, okay, so we did collect more than 1,000,
Yeah.
but probably not as much as, which is good, because last year was really
It
a
was
lot.
epic, yeah.
Bob Blair collected 900 all by himself. I happened to be talking to the police chief, the fire chief, and the highway superintendent. Police chief has offered, we talked about having the police go out with a crew that does Central Street,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a pretty hard street to do.
Yep.
And he said, yeah, they would be perfectly willing to have a cruiser go out and,
That would be awesome,
Yeah,
yeah.
it would be
Right.
In the past, years ago, the fire department used to do Central Street.
right. They haven't been doing, I guess, they have to, the firemen, the people in the fire department would have to volunteer to do it, from what I heard from the fire
Right.
chief.
Sure.
Right, and highway department's willing to do the same thing again next year.
Awesome.
Yeah, I asked Ken specifically, Chief Ken, if he would, if they'd be willing to do some of that work, and he said, no, not when they're on duty.
Right,
Right.
So they'd have to be off-duty
off duty.
Volunteers.
volunteers.
Yep.
Right, whereas the police were on duty.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm sure the chief can motivate some of the guys to
Yeah. I think
volunteer
so.
some hours for the
Yeah,
town.
Yeah.
so it sounds really good. Maybe we can send them down to East Berlin too, to
Yeah.
clean up, right? But anyway, yeah, so we had quite a few people,
Awesome.
and there was a lot of trash picked up. Again, not as much as last year, but there wasn't as much as last year.
That's fabulous.
Right,
One thing I had these thoughts about these nip bottles, and how last year the numbers were just way through the roof. And this year far fewer, but it just indicates that those things, once they go out the window or somebody's walks by and just throws them on the ground, I'm sure people aren't drinking and driving, but
Yeah.
they're there forever. They're
Yeah.
there for a long time. So we cleaned up a lot of 2 and 3 and 4-year-old nips last year, and so this year we just had 1 year's worth to deal
right,
with.
exactly.
It was far
I would
less.
say some of them were
Far
even
fewer.
10 years old, I
Yeah.
mean, they
Yeah.
were pretty,
But they're there forever.
Yeah.
How come they weren't picked up last year?
No, these are
The-
since last year, the ones that we got this year.
Well, you said they were 10 years old.
oh,
Last
Last
ones
year,
last
we
year.
got so many
Last
more.
year.
Yeah.
We got,
Okay, excuse me.
Yeah.
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 I thought you were sloughing
I know
off
I'm not.
last year, and I didn't want to.
I'm not clear. You gotta hear me explain cribbage.
Yeah. All right. It is 7:31. Seth,
Can I bring a chair up?
of course.
Thank you kindly.
We won't make you stand.
Do whatever you like, I'll dance if you need.
Well,
But you're
Then you have to sing.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so this is a continuation of the hearing,
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm Seth Donahoe with Dillis and Roy, and we had submitted an ANRAD to you guys. This is for a property off Central Street, actually 3 separate parcels. And at last meeting, you had asked if it would be all right if Mr. Garner came out and did a peer review on it. So we received his peer review letter, and everything in it was agreeable to us. So we went out and we adjusted a couple flags, and I prepared a reply to you guys. I hope you received it via email. And I also have so that's Mr. Garner's, and then I have a letter I'll hand to you guys that I sent over yesterday.
Thank you.
So this should have the new flag locations on it.
yeah, that helps. Although I don't know, kind of use the same much. It doesn't really matter.
You'll work through the challenges.
Right, this is the updated, yeah.
Yeah, Seth, yeah, could you just sign our?
Yeah, absolutely. That's just our letter acknowledging the adjustments.
Thank you.
So Mr. Gardner noted that there's a perennial stream on site, which we had flagged, and he had no issues with the flags associated with that. There is a non-jurisdictional isolated area on the far end of the property. That's that small area demarcated by the E-Series flags. He had no issues with that and confirmed that that was non-jurisdictional. And then we have a bordering vegetated wetland, which is up gradient of the stream banks, and that's next to the blue line in the middle of your plan. And there were a couple flag adjustments that he requested in that area. We made all those adjustments, and in every case, we actually moved them further up gradient than what he recommended. When we went out to the site, it was quite wet that day, and just as the vegetation is coming in, it made sense to move them more. So we field located all of those points and have no issues with the recommendations he made.
All
What's
right.
going in there?
I don't know. That's an honest answer. Everyone keeps asking me that, but
Well, I
Got a
did,
lot of
I did
excavation to
Google
do.
the applicant, and they are home builders. So,
so do you guys have any questions related to any of the adjustments or the resource areas that we've demarcated?
I do not. Maddie got to go on her first site walk, or not site walk, but
Yeah, it was,
to check the flags. She got to go with him.
yeah,
With
it was
Pat?
very interesting seeing the process.
Yeah.
Also, I did forward all this information to him as well, and he had a chance to review. And his comments this morning, he's like, looks great, seems reasonable, and in accordance with what I observed. So
Okay,
he was very happy with the
excellent.
the
And
updated draft.
we were waiting for a DEP file number, and that has, I'd almost say miraculously come in. 'cause
I know.
Sometimes,
Right,
sometimes
so
they
he's
take a
saying-
long time these days, so.
I know. We have one filing that the DEP number hasn't come in, but it's a little bit more of a complicated project.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's, I would imagine that's why yours came in so quick? Just because it's a.
yeah, I think, I mean, it's an ANRAD at this point, so there's really no stormwater or
Right,
any
exactly.
technical
It's
things to
just an
review. and-
easier thing they can just check off.
$20
Excellent.
a year.
What is the DEP number? I know we got the email,
It is
but.
right in the bold on your letter there,
right there.
107-261.
Yep. Louise,
AJ.
did you, they did get their DEP number?
Oh, they did, okay.
Yep,
107 dash what?
0261.
61, okay.
And the only other thing that Pat emailed was about his payment for the peer review, because he usually doesn't send a bill,
Okay,
which I'm not sure why.
should I guess at the amount, or?
Right.
So, yeah, I asked him. So originally he said 1,500 for the cost, and he said that's correct. Yep.
1,500 even,
Yep.
yep.
And does he want to be paid directly, or are
He
we
does.
putting that in a town account?
No.
Okay.
We don't.
So how would you like me to handle that? Just have the applicant
Just send him a
contact
check.
him and pay him?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. The applicant agreed to having him do the peer review. That was
Right.
one item we talked about offline after the last meeting, so there's
Yep.
no issue with that.
Yep. Yeah, so, I'm fine with this, and we'll just make it conditional on him getting paid,
It's fair enough. Got to work for a living.
right? We gotta help our
Yep,
people.
so then if I could ask if we close the hearing and you have 21 days to issue the ORAD, and then if you don't get payment in that time, you can just hold
Right,
the ORAD, and I'm not sure if I'll even be the one picking it up, but we'll make sure that you get paid, or Pat gets paid in that time.
right, right. Yeah, and if you need help facilitating that, just let us know.
I've got his address on there.
Yep.
And so I will have our client coordinate directly with him.
Awesome.
Okay, we have the other two checks that I was gonna deposit. Do those both go? We have the ANRAD fee, which was like a little over 1,000, and we had the NOI fee, I think, for like 95.
We haven't submitted an NOI
The
yet.
NOI was a different project, I think, wasn't it the Flat Penny?
Yep.
I don't know, there was no detail on it.
Yeah, so that
It
was for
was,
the flat
yes.
penny.
Yeah.
Was that the week I wasn't here?
Probably.
Okay, that's why I was like,
$95.
it's like, what is this check for? There's no.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, 95, so that was for,
Yeah, that's already noted in the
What's
previous
what's
minutes.
the number to, what's the address for the flat penny?
I have no idea.
It's just a flat penny, right?
Yeah, right?
I can look it up.
I see the confusion. That came from my office too, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so someone
Yeah,
else
that
was
was
working.
Jack
Yeah,
Mahoney. Yeah,
they're doing
okay.
a septic work there.
Yep. And that's the other DEP number we're waiting
273, I
for.
think it
That
is.
one,
Okay, so
yep,
we
I
don't
can
have
see
a
the
date
noise.
yet.
Yeah.
Huh?
263 West Street.
260.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So do we have to vote on an end, Brad?
We do. So, does anybody have any other questions?
Yep. So, is this two different properties that got combined, or is that still a separation of the two?
So they are,
Because what I found was two different owner names, so I didn't know.
they are 3 separate parcels, actually. So map 16, and it's parcel 13.
Oh, this back one.
15 and 15-1.
Okay.
Right, so it's
It's
this,
line, this
this,
Yep.
this, and this.
line. Okay,
Yep.
cool. That was my extensive question.
Very insightful.
Thank you.
Walter, you weren't here, so do you have any other questions?
No,
Yep. I mean, it's just kind of a standard thing.
I'm surprised it actually getting sold, frankly. You drive by and look at it, it's a pretty challenging piece of land.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
Plus with that power line easement, they can't build on that. There are no wetlands over here, can't put a sewage system in,
Is there a conservation restriction on this property?
not on that.
No.
No.
All right.
Motion to take a vote?
Motion to close. We vote to approve first, or we close the hearing first? I'm so bad at the minutia of
I think you would
procedure.
close and then
Yeah,
then
right,
vote normally.
right, exactly. So, need a motion to close the hearing.
Yeah. Motion to close.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All in favor of closing the hearing?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Now, and it's the same as an RDA. No.
Normally with the ORADs, they would say approval of whether, if you're gonna call out individual flag numbers or by series, and the type of resource areas that were delineated. So in this
Right.
case, we've delineated the perennial stream on the site, and then the A, B, C, D wetlands, bordering vegetated wetlands, and a isolated non-jurisdictional area demarcated by the E series wetlands.
Right. I think this is actually my first ANRAD. We usually get RDAs and NOIs and that's it.
Yeah, they're a little cost prohibitive sometimes.
Yeah.
to-
Do I have a motion to accept the ANRAD or to accept the flagging ABCD series around the perennial stream and associated BVW and the E series flagging around the isolated land subject to flooding?
And Pat looked at these and approved.
Yeah, yep.
So move.
It's actually not isolated land subject to flooding, because that would, it's
Subject to seasonal
Yeah, the isolated land subject to flooding would indicate that it has a certain storage volume, which this area lacks.
Right. Subject to seasonal flooding.
Vernal pool.
No, it's not even that deep.
It's like almost like a wet meadow. It looks like they were draining the paddock and pasture area from above, and it just gets a little squishy sometimes.
Saw a salamander in it the other day.
I killed it.
Oh, God.
That was way too
Nah,
fast.
it's-
You guys planned.
He's gonna turn me in.
Did you eat it?
On
Yeah.
the plans dated May 3rd, 2022.
Okay, can you repeat that so we...
Oh, God.
To accept? Okay.
I'm looking for a motion. I don't even know what the hell, what was the motion? The motion to accept the flags in the A, B, C, D series around the perennial stream and associated BVW.
I can't write that fast.
Okay,
Okay. ABCD
yep,
area,
series flags
flags, okay.
around the perennial stream and associated BVW.
Okay.
And the E-Series flags around the existing isolated area subject to seasonal flooding.
This is the longest motion ever.
I know.
Existing isolated
Isolated area
subject to
seasonal flooding. On the plan submitted by Dillis and Roy, dated 5/3/22.
322.
And then Walter moved.
Mm-hmm.
No one seconded yet?
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask you to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Oh. Conditional on Pat Garner getting paid.
What's the name of the people who bought it?
It's Habitech is the app.
Habitech?
Habitech, yeah.
No, they're from South
Oh,
Carolina.
there it is.
No?
No, local.
Oh, okay.
I think
This
that's
is
the original one.
Yeah,
Oh,
like-
the original one.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
the
like
Wilson-
North Shore-ish, kind of, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
North Reading is their
Yeah.
office. They were, we're working for them in Bolton. They do a bunch of stuff around this area.
Yeah.
Together.
Yep.
Right. But they're probably extended to over here.
I think you guys are done with me for tonight.
I believe we are.
Okay, so we
Thank you.
will facilitate the payment and look forward to seeing the ORAD for this.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Maddie will do her first ORAD. All right, so do you have a copy of the report?
Yep, that's on here. Yep,
And the first map and the second map?
yep,
All right. And Pat's report and,
yep,
all right.
yep. it's all-
So then,
yep.
yeah, so we'll just write the DEP number on the outside, and then that can go right in the file.
Thank you, guys.
Excellent. Thanks, Seth.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for your patience.
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Walter, good, how are you?
But we have nothing else but you tonight.
All right, we'll be here.
So,
Did you sign our?
That's steep to get in, that's a big.
Well, that's the thing, I mean, look at that.
That,
The things that can be there.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's here, that's this. This is the blue house next door.
Everybody?
So,
Hi.
for anybody who doesn't know, Dan Stimson of Sudbury Valley Trustees, he's kind of their trails guy. What
That's
is
right.
your official?
I'm the Assistant Director of Stewardship.
but trails is one of my main roles as
I
is
like that title.
mapping.
And Kyle
That's a
is
good
our
title.
trails
Nice.
guy.
Nice to meet you.
now.
Head of trails.
Head of
Cool.
trails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Not as
Or-
adventurous as your title, but one day we'll get there.
He prefers trail boss.
Yeah, no, we gotta write that down.
I
Yeah.
put you down as the chair of the trail committee.
That
Nice.
doesn't sound
Moving
bad.
up as we speak. That's great.
I thought we settled on trail boss.
The
He
badge
doesn't
says
have a
head of
horse.
trails. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's true. But anyway. so,
Congratulations on town meeting.
Thank you.
That's great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it was, we needed a win.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
And,
big one, too.
yeah,
That is a big one.
it is. Yep. As
Yeah.
I told Walter, I was honored to finish what he started many, many years ago.
Nice.
40 anyway.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So, I shared this with Carolyn. Has anybody I have a couple
Scroll
extra
through it.
copies for today. I think, so this is kind of the start of a conversation I think that Walter brought to us, hoping to think about some potential management on your town parcels. And we thought that we might be able to help show some of the important biological features that occur on properties throughout town. So we put together a series of maps showing some of the ecological values that we use in the prioritization of land protection that can also be used for prioritizing stewardship management activities. And so we went through each of those and then layered them all on top of each other and showed which of the properties had the most occurrences of those in the final maps. And so it's a pretty lengthy document. I don't know if you wanted to kind of go through that or just have a conversation on where this might like to go and what your goals are, and if there's any way that SVT can help you as a partner in thinking about it further after this. We're open to kind of anything.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
It's amazing, Dan, that you know what went into that. That's quite a powerful tool to have.
It's nice, yeah. So we have an AmeriCorps member each year, and a few years ago they put together this packet model that we hadn't ran for Berlin yet.
Yeah.
And so the AmeriCorps member that was here this year worked with me to go through all of the maps. So it's something we've tried with a couple other towns, and yeah, I think it can be helpful.
So it, basically, the map we're interested in, of course, would be the map of the town and all land that is not protected, that could be protected in some way or manner, which Rainville Farm, Wheeler's Farm, Tim
Did you
Wheeler's
get a chance to
Farm.
scroll through it?
And,
I emailed this, yeah.
I didn't get a chance to really look in
And,
detail, but
yeah,
I saw
I
the
also-
maps
I
and-
did
like a
print
and
it.
so then,
Yeah,
you know.
it's, I know.
we really want to do
I think I might.
So this focuses more on lands that are already protected and the values that occur on those lands. We do have a very similar prioritization guide that speaks to lands that are unprotected in hopes of getting protection status at some point. But this is more to think about which ones have a lot of potential value that you might want to work to care for on lands that the town controls already. So Walter, you had suggested that you might want to do some forestry activities at some point, and so this might
I'm
be
gonna
kind
meet
of-
with a DCR guy in a week or so over in Boylston and talk about this stewardship program, just get information to bring back here on grants and stuff and
Yep.
decide where we want to do, and you get a grant to actually enhance bird habitat
Yep.
along with it. And
Yep.
So,
So that-
Dan, I forgot to introduce Maddie.
Maddie, nice to
She
meet
is
you.
our
I've seen your name
conservation
quite a few
agent.
times.
Yep. Maddie is also a certified arborist.
Oh, great. Nice.
So,
what's that?
Walter, when are you meeting
I haven't
with,
set it up yet. I just got an email from him today, wants a couple of dates, so.
okay. If you,
Yep.
I think it would be great to have Maddie there for that as well.
Yep.
So if you can try and coordinate with her as well.
Yeah, so the map that I opened it to is kind of the culmination of the subsequent maps in the report that each layer getting a point, basically. So there are maps for endangered species. There's a map for critical supporting watersheds, biomap, areas of critical environmental concern. And so the deepest reds have the most co-occurrences of those. I think maybe the highest is 8 points. So that happens to be up in the Garfield Woods area, and 40 caves, yep.
And that's already all protected?
Yeah, so the colors you're seeing are all protected lands.
Right.
Some of the previous maps show them by ownership so that you can isolate out the DCR and the SVT. In the maps that you're looking at here, all of the parcels that are bounded by the heavy bold black are owned by the town. So we thought you might want to kind of look particularly at the ones that you have the total control of. So you can see the 40 Caves area scored really high, as did Mount Pisgah. So Mount Pisgah is the area down, in the kind of the southwest. The Morse Woods lands that go up a little bit to the east of Pisgah also scored pretty high as well. That's that kind of over right there. Yeah.
Right here?
This one here.
Oh, okay. Oh, right here.
No, it's trying to live up there. I don't
Yeah.
know if there's property.
So this is the McGraw property right here, right, or Horseshoe Pond?
Everything
Yes.
that's white is,
In
Yep.
white.
there's
Oh,
the
right
pond
here.
right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that would be colored the same as
Is it
this?
already town
if-
property?
I assume so. It's hard to say if some of the areas, so the previous maps show not only where those areas occur on the protected lands, but where they go outside. So to Walter's point, you can kind of infer some of the really high valuable properties that are not protected. There's especially one kind of in the center of town that shows up in some of the, there's one set of maps about the Index of Ecological Integrity, which is a prioritization system that the University of Massachusetts has developed.
It's this one.
And that, there's some really good scoring, unprotected land
Yeah.
right in the center of the
So
town there.
that's all Highland Ridge now.
Okay.
That's all that, except for a little bit
surrounding
around it.
pieces.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
know. I was looking at this. I'm like, oh, these maps are a little,
Yeah.
yeah, sadly.
As important as this.
So for each of those, there is some description about what those data sets mean, and there's some links that you can look further into if you want to kind of get deeper. That one in particular, the Index of Ecological Integrity, is an index that they
So
use
it's like
about.
2 pages.
I think
back.
there's most
I like the
about.
colors on that one.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's kind of hard to
This
show.
way.
They ranked 27 different factors that UMass looked at and tried to score every piece of parcel in the Commonwealth. And so that kind of shows the above average of the ecological integrity in town.
Dan, it's interesting, what study, who went out and did the field work to make this determination?
Thank you.
Some of it's field that has been kind of reviewed by state Fish and Wildlife, so a lot of the layers in here are from the Heritage Department.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them are office studies that, that computer modeling, where there hasn't been real severe ground truthing on
Yeah.
every part of the state. And so in each of those sections, you'll kind of see a description on who of them. There's some of them are Nature Conservancy, especially there's a set of maps that talk about the ability of the land to withstand climate change, and so connectedness and some of the varying topography scores really high so that you can have climate refugia in warmer climates. And so those studies were done by the Nature Conservancy, and it's part of an Eastern Seaboard study that goes down into the Appalachians that they're working on.
Yeah, can you imagine trying to put together this packet before computers?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And now you just like turn on a layer and it shows up.
Yeah.
Oh, this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great, just reading through it, just all of the work that went into putting this together. It's amazing.
So in the end, there's kind of a matrix of the parcel names. Some of those may look odd to you. They came straight from MassGIS, and they're working on whatever protected names they received at the time of protection. So they might not be names that we call individual parcels locally. So if there's ever a question on which one of those. It's very easy to tie those to a specific place if we open up the computer and kind of look at the parcel by parcel. So
Right.
if none of those make sense, we could help you pin down which is which. But so this might be something that you review with the forester to see if the areas you look at are influenced by some of the data that are shown in here, and if there's ever an opportunity that you want to look more closely at individual properties and see kind of what's really out there, then we might be able to look at that as well.
And you said you do have the ability to incorporate unprotected land into something like this to give us kind of some a path forward, or something to watch out for.
Yep, Krista works from a study that we did in 2014. We're currently working to update that now, so you can imagine over the past 7-8 years the data's been updated. So we just got a grant from the Open Space Institute and the Land Trust Alliance last fall, and we're about halfway through our updated prioritization for the unprotected lands that we're hoping to have a product by late summer, early fall that would give more details in. We're including some more climate change and nature-based solutions modeling in this new one, but it's a very similar process to what you're seeing here. Awesome. And that's a tool that we're hoping is going to have an interactive map that you could look at on our website and be able to drill down parcel level and see.
Yeah, I think in Mass Audubon kind of offers a similar tool too that
Yes.
ranks parcels, unprotected parcels for towns and land trusts to kind of look at to get an idea of what they should protect.
Awesome. Yeah, I was sad to see we don't have any, what was it, priority bird habitat?
That's a National Audubon Society layer, the important bird areas. We all know there are great spots in Berlin for birding.
Sure.
So I'm sure that if you look at it at a different scale, there definitely could be. And similarly, there's no, I think the ACECs that are identified by the Heritage Department, there aren't any in town. But it's not to say that there aren't really valuable habitats.
Sure.
So some of the important bird areas that come up in our region are around some of the larger reservoirs, so that they
Sure.
get stopovers for migrating ducks and things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even some of the larger wetlands have some real unique
Yeah.
bird life. Sitting in the swamp, bird watching.
It's like sitting in
Is it red-breasted or rose-breasted nuthatch?
Yeah, this
The
is
red-breasted.
online.
Red-breasted.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was red or rose.
Yep.
And I thought, yeah, wow.
Yeah. So,
You don't see them often, anyway.
yeah, it depends. I have lived places where I had those and white-breasted nuthatches, and then other places where it's just the white ones. But
Yeah. We had a really good year for the red-breasted a couple years ago. It was one of those eruption years where they all come south because the food was short up north. Yeah.
so they're more northern birds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of
maybe.
times.
This
Yeah.
was late fall when I was observing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I just love watching them walk up and down the trees, like gravity.
They
What's
talk
that?
a lot too. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so as you digest this, if you have any questions and there's any kind of process that we can help with, I think that myself and Laura Matei, who's my boss, the Director of Stewardship, would be happy to kind of walk through any of these or talk about other processes. I think she talked to you, Walter, about your interest in maybe bringing in some public interest in getting the towns involved.
Yeah, we did this plan, we want to engage the public in what we're doing. and-
Yeah, I would love to, especially, now that things are opening up
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
I'd love to, like, even if it is quarterly, try to hold some sort of informational sessions,
Yeah.
birding, invasives, like, here's some good things, here's some bad things, but just informational, educating. I believe firmly that if people understood more about how it all worked together, that they would be better stewards of their own property,
For sure.
which then benefits everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
so I would love to see if we could, now that we have Maddie to help facilitate that.
And we do
Whoop.
partner on a
Is
lot
this
of,
information available to the public? And if so, how do they go about getting it?
the town, you have this now, so you could certainly share that with the
Oh,
public. if
yeah,
you're
we could
interested.
upload it to, we could put it on our part of the town website. Thank you, Roger.
And obviously, so we share a lot of the conservation areas with you, so if there's co-sponsored events, would be happy to do some of that too.
Right, yeah, that would be, now, do you guys kind of have programs put together that, because sometimes for me, I'm gonna speak for myself, one of the things that has prevented me from like really pushing that is I don't have the time to put together a program.
Yeah.
You know, so do you
Yep.
guys have like programs
Yeah.
that you can, oh, here's the invasive plants program.
Yep.
Um,
So we have for instance, for the invasive plants, we have the Weed Warriors
Yep.
program that we're working on now, and so one of the areas that we're hoping to get active is 40 caves, and so we train volunteers to identify and manage invasive species. So that could be something that we certainly have that kind of presentation laid out that we could hold trainings here in town. And
Sure,
It's all laid out on their website. right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a good time to be getting the multiflora roads.
Everything's green,
So,
right?
I've been
Yeah.
rolling that up
Yeah.
Yep.
down in my backyard and on the conservation land behind me there.
Yep.
I think that would be a really good program to do, because there's been chatter on Berlin Neighbors Connect about people talking about the invasives and how to get rid of them and everything.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, we're working, so some of the surveying that we do with that is done with cell data, and 40 caves is challenging for that. There's not much cell reception,
Yep.
so.
Yeah.
So the challenge right now is trying to figure out how to get the volunteers to be able to map the invasives without, so we're working through that to get 40 caves kickstarted, but when we figure that out, I think that'll be a good one.
Awesome. Yeah, I know at least one or two people at the time, or a couple of years ago, from the commission trained with
Yes,
you guys.
yep. Yeah, I
Um,
saw Liz earlier this week. She was one of the
Liz
ones.
Yeah.
and John.
Was it Liz and John? I knew
Yes.
it was Liz, I couldn't remember who else.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and we're doing a lot of work right now with pollinator gardens and
What is a
insects.
pollinator guy?
Gardens with native plants that are geared towards native pollinators. So not just planting, pretty flowers, but planting
Oh, yeah.
shrubs and flowers
Okay,
that are
okay.
specifically native to here.
Just didn't
Yeah.
And
connect
it's-
the name to what it, I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
yeah.
And it goes just beyond the flowers that they feed on and so on, but also the kind of plant stocks that they overwinter in
Yeah.
and protecting, those, don't cut them to the ground in the
Right,
fall.
the whole life cycle.
Let them sleep in the spring so the
Yep.
insects can,
Yeah, AJ's gonna help us revamp the garden we have here in the center, and with more of an aim towards a pollinator garden.
Nice.
I think if I remember right, there are over 400 species of bees alone in Massachusetts.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not the only pollinators out there.
Right, exactly.
Mosquitoes are buzz pollinators on certain plants, believe it or not.
Well, I don't know that we're gonna actively encourage mosquitoes.
I was with you till then.
Yeah.
There's all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so have a look and let me know if there's anything that we can help kind of get you further down the road on this.
Awesome.
Yeah. There's nice
Yeah,
maps.
so if we were going to get in touch, we'd contact Laura.
Or you can come
About-
through me, yeah,
Okay.
either's fine,
Yep.
yep. And so it depends on the topic, and I can certainly help direct you to whoever's best on certain topics.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should figure out some things and, Because we can have it over at the 1870 Town Hall and
Yeah,
plenty of space to spread out.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds great.
I would love to do that. That has always been something I've wanted to do.
Nice.
I like the idea of the Weed Warrior program. I just
Yeah, me
haven't been
too.
able to kind of fit it in yet.
Yep, yep.
Weed Warrior program.
The what?
Weed Warrior program.
With
Invasives.
the invasives.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do we do about that?
That's gotta be over the tipping point. We're kidding ourselves. We can slow it, advance maybe, but
Mhm.
Right, yeah, I don't
the
think,
writing's on the wall.
I don't think we'll ever turn it around, but just teaching people how to control it.
Mm.
And that program specifically is focusing on manageable areas and preventing it further spread. So at 40 Caves, for instance, they're looking at around the vernal pools and along the streams to the really important habitat areas for the rare species to try and keep the invasives out of those really sensitive areas. And like, there's no way we're going to win along the railroad tracks, for instance,
Right.
but yeah.
Right.
Or my property.
Yeah.
I think Carolyn was horrified when she came up my driveway.
I was like, oh, Robin, you got some work to do here.
Yeah.
Oh, that got away from us a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Awesome.
All
Well,
right.
thank you so much for bringing this in and for putting this together for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice
What
resource.
What a remarkable resource it's going to be for us.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Awesome.
Very good. We'll be in touch.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks so
Thanks.
much.
Good to see you all.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else.
Does that mean I can motion to end the meeting at?
Well, does anybody else have anything?
You know, there are a couple of things that I've been doing research for Sierra Club for a long time, about 2 years now. That's not a long time, but. And one of the things I'm seeing are some trends around the state that I haven't seen on our radar yet. One is the elimination of the use of glyphosate by
Of what?
glyphosate Roundup, for a brand name, I guess, by the municipality. I don't know that we can manage ever to eliminate it from private homeowners using it.
Right.
It's one of the few things that even has any impact on this knotweed. And then there seems to be a pretty good momentum toward reducing and eliminating single-use plastic, particular bottles, takeout containers, things like that. And I just brought it up because I'm seeing that increase, the momentum of that increasing around the state. We have 151 communities now in the state, including Berlin, with a plastic bag ban,
Yep.
for instance. And that's up considerably from a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, polystyrene is another one that seems to be getting some traction. So it's just something maybe for us to think about going forward. Do we want to tackle anything like that in the future? And it's like those doggone nips. Once they go out the window, they're there forever,
Yep.
unless you pick them up. I think recycling plastic is mostly myth.
It's so funny. I was waiting to hear what you were going to say because I was just reading an article about the petroleum companies lie about the recyclable. Let me try that one again. Recyclability of plastic.
Yep.
It's greenwashing is what
Yep.
they're calling it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It makes you feel good because you threw it in the recycling bin, but and the other thing is, you make plastic lumber out of used plastic, right? And as soon as you put a saw to it to cut it to length, you've got microplastics
Yeah.
going all over the
Right.
place.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
Trying to make me feel bad.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
Anyway,
I sleep
that's
fine.
my piece.
Right. Yeah.
Food for thought.
Food for thought.
Could you add in glass fault for food for thought as well?
Glass fault.
Yeah, in New
that?
York they do it. They take the glass and they grind it down and they use it On the roads.
As an
Nice.
aggregate.
Don't people
What are
cut
they-
their feet?
They grind it up real small.
That was
Yeah.
just a bad joke.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, but there's a lot of slashed tires.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. See, now we're getting there. I like it.
I want to say that I think Marlboro was starting to look into it as well.
Mhm.
I mean, because look at the current situation of the dump. It costs more to recycle the glass, so that's why it's going in the bin.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you think about glass, it's not toxic. It's sand that's been modified a bit,
Yeah.
but plastic.
It's convenience.
Yep. But it's definitely getting harder for recycling to be the answer,
Yeah.
for sure.
Last night we went to sushi. We brought a takeout container because we knew there'd be more food than we could eat.
Yep.
And sure enough, they came up with polystyrene boxes and offered for take-home. I said, wait a minute, you know, every time I come in here, I bring my own box.
Right. You should know me by now.
But that polystyrene is
Is-
single
yeah.
use and no
Yep.
place to go with it. Anyway, I got.
Well, but even the compostable stuff that they give you for takeout containers, it's all food stained. You can't you can't actually do anything with it unless you throw it in your own compost bin.
Yeah.
Well,
You know.
most compostable plastics have to be commercially composted because your backyard compost bin will never reach a temperature that'll
Yeah.
break it down.
Right. Yep.
Even if it's made of cornstarch, it takes much higher. Anyway,
Right. All right. Well, all
Big
the
blast.
good news from AJ.
That was dark.
y'all wanted to go home, didn't you?
Thanks.
Does anybody else have anything? All right. If not,
I make a motion to end the meeting at 8:15.
Second. Got one in.
Third.
All those in favor?
wait,
I can't say that.
wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
Took away- oh.
You want to be chair?
No, no.
Aye.
All those opposed? Too bad.
I just-